Well, good evening. I don't even feel like doing this review here tonight. After watching 60 Minutes tonight, seeing Darren Beedman, what a champion he is. He's a great fella, and he seems to be handling things well, and has got the right attitude. He had a good mentor in Theo Green, which I suppose is helping him get through life, the position he's in now. Here we are. They say sometimes they call snooker the cruel game. Well, of course, we all know that the racing game can be very cruel at times. It doesn't matter what area you're involved in. And to see that poor boy tonight, it brings a tear to your eye. But anyway, he'll be all right. Now, funny thing, I remember at one stage when I was in the very early 80s, I was clocking Tommy Smith's horses for a while. And one morning, it was in the summer, and I couldn't sleep, and I got up very early, and I was out the track at Randwick in the middle of around about, it was before 3:30, and Tommy wasn't out there yet. He wasn't that far behind, but out there in the middle was Theo Green, of course. And I remember hopping up into the box, and Theo was there by himself, and he said, he asked me, could I put, there were two runners walking around the box, and he said, could you put these two on for me, Gary, when they go out? And it was young Darren and Jamie Innes together. They would have been only, well, they would have only been 16 or 17, and he said, put them on. I remember he giving the instructions, just come home your last three. They went out at the mile and a quarter gap. They worked their way around, and they got to the three. But I thought when I was looking for them, I picked them up at the 800, and they were flying at the 800, let alone the 600. And when they came back, he said, yes. He said, how'd they go? I said, they came home all right, Theo. I said, but I didn't. I think the young boys might have gone off a little bit early there, and I wish I wouldn't have said anything, because when he came back, he blew up a bit. But anyway, that's all in the past, and there's nothing really. But anyway, I hope Darren is all right. Now, it's not this meeting here today at Wyong. The track was good, rail was normal, and the wind was out of the southeast. It was a nice stiff breeze, but it didn't. It might have helped the times a bit. It helped them down the side and a little bit in the straight. And without really going into it, I don't feel like it was really very quickly. In the first race on the screen, there was 118.5. In the marketplace, only 111. And the favourite won the race and went straight to the lead, having its first start in the race. Golden Sunshine, ridden by Rick Worthington, and bolted in, went straight to found the bunny and won by 3.8 lengths. It was $3.50 out to $3.80, back into $3.50, back to $3.70. That's about all I'd say. Race 2 on the screen, 111.4. In the marketplace, there was only a skinny 95%, and this was won by the favourite. Figures were no good here, as I've just said, and it was the best back late Bando. When I say there was 95 there, that includes the $3.50 about Cloud Valley, number 6, who didn't have a price. It went from $2.50 to $3.50. You couldn't give it away. The winner, whereas the winner Bando went from $3 to $3.50, back into $3 hard to get. And even number 2, who went up the 2-to-1 equal second favourite, Shanghai Court, it got from $3 out to $3.50, also unlayable. It led all the way, Bando, and he had them off a bit before the turn and won well. Race 3, there was on the screen only, we should be ashamed of ourselves here, 99.7. In the marketplace, we only gave 89%, and this was a complete and utter strip out. We put them up this way. We'll have you 2-to-1, 5 rocks. $1.50 went up 5 rocks. It started at $2.50, was only 2s on to 6-4. And the winner, Impetuous, who had never run over the journey before, resuming from a spell, had one trial, a 740-metre trial. But I'd say Clary Connors, the master trainer that he is, most probably thought this horse's number was in the frame, and it was backed accordingly. We put it up $4.60, was there for a long time, but it did start $2.70, hard to get. It was 7-2 to 7-4, an absolute strip out. You could have done whatever you wanted on the race. You could have done 100 million on it if you wanted to. It was absolutely poleaxed, whereas Five Rocks, the opening 2-1 on favourite, didn't have a price. It went straight to the front, Five Rocks, and there was a bit of attacking up the front from a couple of roughies in the race, and sitting behind them, ridden by the New Zealand boy McDonald, James McDonald, on the winner Impetuous. He just pulled out, turning, eased off the heels, turning for home, 3 wide, said see you later, won by 4.8 lengths. I'm embarrassed to say what I did on the race. Race 4, now on the screen, don't know what happened here, I can assure you it's wrong, 125.2 on the screen. In the marketplace, there was positive figures, but there was only 107. I won't go through the SPs, what you could have got, you drive you bananas. But by the same token, the winner, He's a Clown, didn't have a price. It did go from $4.40 to $10. It sat in the 3rd position, looking at the leader, who ran second, and that was Mouse, or Moose. The Moose, it was very hard to lay as well, Moose. It went from $5 out to $7, back into $6.50. And the opening favourite, it was very hard to lay, had every possible chance, wouldn't have won if it cut across the middle, was Cheers Brow, number 2. It went from evens out to $2.60, Cheers Brow. And as I say, it led on the fence, Moose, and sitting in 4th position, the 3rd position, one off the fence and moving up wide on the turn, was the winner, also ridden by James McDonald and trained by Clary, and was able to grab Moose on the line and beat it be a half a head or whatever, and it was 5 lengths away to a 100-to-1 chance in Get Back, who sat outside the leader. Now, race 5, there's been no hard luck stories in any of these races so far. Race 5, on the screen, 112.5, in the marketplace, a fat 107. As they jumped, it started, it was $1.50 on every board there. There were four captains on the fence and two captains in the outside ring, 6 of us, but there was only one punter in the joint. It was a ghost town, and we had up. We'll have you 2. We'll take you 2 for 1. Dark Brown Sugar, which did look a shoe-in in this race, ridden by Killer Cat. If you run the race over again, you'd have to lay 13 to 4 on it with me. And like a fool, as they jumped, it was there for the taking. It was longer on the Filthy Fair, of course, much longer on the Filthy Fair. And someone said, I will just add 5,000 to 5 monkeys on. And I said, yes, that's a bet. And it, of course, got the cash. It missed a kick, got a bit of a check at the start. There was a bit of pressure on up in front. The other runners, when I say there's 107, they didn't have prices. Al Cavern, number 2, it only went from $4.60 to $8. Cordelian, it went from $4.60 to $6 back into $5.50. And they did take $11 spin ball off me into $9. And the bottom pair didn't have prices, 70 to 1 and 60 to 1. It was no good, and the favourite got the cash. He, as I say, she sat behind Killer Cat, looking at them, and just eased around their heels, wide, turning for home, and went away and won by 2.8 lengths. Race 6, 112.4 on the screen, 106, another positive fat race here. It'd be a beauty if there were punters there that could have a bet, but there's not a punter in the joint, of course. We're just playing. If anyone came there and saw what we're doing, they'd just laugh. They said, you're wasting your time. This was won by the Avery, Anamoso, also ridden by this boy, James McDonald, giving him a treble. We put it up 2. We'll actually put up a bit shorter than that. No, we didn't. We put it up, we'll have you 2 for 1. And we got to $1.60 towards the finish, and it wasn't laid on. but backed in the race was I like the boy from open 550, got to 650, back into $5 at the death. I did lay it at 550 and $6. And the other pair in the market, Doomsman and Corporal Jones, well, you gave the tickets to the punters and let them fill them in themselves. They didn't have prices. Both of them went from $5 out to, one went from $5 to $10, and that was Doomsman, and Corporal Jones went from $5 out to $9, Corporal Jones. The bottom three didn't have prices. The Avery got the cash. It sat very similar to the one that Killer Cath rode, sat behind the pace in about fourth position, looking at the leaders, getting a lovely run, and very similar. He pulled wide on the turn and to the previous winner, and went around them in 2 hops and went away and won by 3 lengths. Come to race 7, 111.9 on the screen, 108 that in the marketplace. But I'll tell you what, this favourite, it did go up. Well, I must admit, I must be an idiot the way I price these horses. I priced it a lot shorter than its starting price. And I must have queried. I should have jerried when it went up. It opened on the machine on the Jolly Green Giant, the Filthy Tab. It went up $7.50 on the machine, and we put it up 5-4 in the ring. And I'm talking about number 1, Fort Sumter. It didn't have a price. It went from $2.25 to $4. It could have put up $44 at the finish, and no one would have had an Oxford on it with you. It didn't have a price. But by the same token, the winner, Gentleman Joe, it didn't have a price either. We put it up $6 and it got to $10, Gentleman Joe, and it crossed from an outside alley. When I say an outside alley, it had barrier 8 in a field of 11 and was able to find the bunny on the fence, and it fought off all the comers down the straight to just last from coming from midfield, one off the fence, a $20 into $18 chance, Senor Montova, to just win by 0.1 of a length, and run this race over again, and you get a few different results. Excuse me. There were a couple of runners back. Number 2, Seagull, was $20 at one stage into $16. Chip and Chase was well back from $9 into $7.50. And Rain Alert, very well back. It went up $4 second pick, got to $4.20, and it started Avery at about $3.70, $4.20 to $3.70 late. Did lay it fairly well. As I say, the Avery, the opening favourite, didn't even start favourite. It started favourite, Rain Alert. The opening favourite, Fort Sumter, didn't have a price. Where did it run? Oh, wait there. It sat fourth in between runners. It did run last, stone last in this race. It's swear blind, they knew. Well, they might have, mightn't they? Race 8, now on the screen, it said 111.1, and in the marketplace, it was 108. Now, it was very hard to lay a bet in this race, and for the simple reason, there were no punters. There wasn't a punter in the ring. Not a punter. We were standing there looking at each other. No one in sight. It was just absolutely fly blown. There was one runner backed, and that was, it started favourite, Mayata, number 8. We put it up $3 favourite. It got out to $3.50 and came into $3 opening price, starting favourite to what it went up. As it went up, it started $3 favourite, had every possible chance, sat third or fourth on the fence behind the leaders. The pro who was the only one there punting, he was the one who brought it in the market. He backed it. All the other runners didn't have prices. Number 1, we're talking about Victory Dragon, went from $3.50 to $5.50, 5-2 to 9-2. Misquilina, well, I must say, we must have wound it off because no one backed it. It was $4 out to $4.60, back into $4.20. Slippery Moss, the winner, didn't have a price. It only went from $3 out to $5.50. Bold Interlude didn't have a price, $14 or $13 out to $21. Car Knight, whatever it's, I'm going blind here. number 7, it went opened up $20 and got to $40. Told you about the Avery number 8, Miata. We must have wound the next runner off, or I think someone might have laid this on the phone. Yeah, there wasn't a punter in the joint. That's right. Someone on the Odeley Cologne, whatever they call it, on the Al Capone. They rang up and backed one more 8 more. It was a nightmare, or ever being there. I know that it went from $5 out to $9, taken back into $8, and the bottom one was $41. They jumped, went to the lead, Miss Quilina. It didn't go down in the snows today, and it held the inside from barrier 1. Sitting on its outside or just behind it was Slippery Moss, the winner. Miss Quilina got away from it before the turn, trapped out 3 wide from the outside alley, was bowled interlude, a 20 to 1 chance. Miss Quilina got clear turning for home, and but Slippery Moss, who we all know should have won very easily at Cessnock last start. Unfortunately, Jenny Duggan got trapped 3 wide at Cessnock, which is when the fence is all right there. 3 wide is like being 100 wide. You can't win. It's a saucer track, and its run was very good at Cessnock. It should have won easily, as I say, and it got from 2s out to 9 to 2. I don't know what the story was there, and it was able to wear down Miss Quilina, well, get past it and win by 1 length on the line, beating Bold Interlude, who was 3 wide outside it to the turn. So its run was all right, and holding on to 3rd was the leader, Miss Quilina, 1.3 lengths away, and have every possible chance. Every possible chance, as I said, was Maita, who sat behind them looking at the 3 leaders. It got beat 2.1 lengths. Number 1, Victory Dragon, it was trapped 3 wide in the run. It missed the kick and a bit of a prat at the start, and it was 3 wide back at the tail of the field and came very wide on the turn, and it ran into 4th hole, beaten 3 lengths, and the others were well back. And that was about the meeting. Not worth talking about. We all should say a little prayer for Darren tonight, and we'll talk to you during the week. Good evening.